How to sound a British instantly. So hello dear learners, welcome to another content which will help you a lot to become fluent in English. And in this video we're going to talk about many people have a dream to sound more British instantly. So I found some steps that will help you to sound more British instantly. But make sure you subscribe my channel because I didn't want to miss my any important video which gonna improve yourself or your English. Now let's look in. Now I wonder that many people have a dream to sound more British instantly. Am I right? Maybe you have a dream to sound more British instantly. Just in a few minutes. You only need to watch this video till the end to sound more British instantly. Now without wasting our time, let's look at this video. Now step number 1 is the letter R. Now what is letter R? Now in our native English accent, so we always pronounce R as R. Right? Am I right? We always pronounce R as R. For example, water, Harry Potter, right? We just pronounce R as R. Am I right? But in British, R doesn't exist. Yeah, I know R exists, but in somehow R doesn't exist. However, let me tell you why R is not exist. Now, whenever there is an R and before R is there any vowel, so R is not pronounced at all. For example, E, if a word has E, after E is there any R, so the R is pronounced like A. If there any A and after A is there any R, so R is pronounced like A. So it basically means that vowel plus R is A. Now for example, water. Of course, water, V-O-T. Now let it keep aside. Now E-R, E. So E is basically the vowel, A-E-I-O-U. Am I right? In water has E. Right, E is a vowel, and after E, after E, there are R. So it pronounced like water. Simple. Like, could you give me a glass of water? There is nothing big. So, for example, the somehow famous person Harry Potter. So in Harry Potter, so E-R, same vowel plus R. So it was like A. Harry Potter. My favorite character is Harry Potter. Now I found a word also. Character. Right? Character has ER, vowel plus R. So it pronounced as a character. My favorite character is Harry Potter. Simple. The main, simple, important, crucial example is that. New invention for me. Alright, it is ridiculous. So right, you understand that whenever there is a vowel and after vowel is an R, so R doesn't pronounce like R. It is pronounced as A, like your dad. A. Okay? Water. Water. Harry Potter. Character. So right, whenever there is a vowel and after vowel is an R, so it pronounced as A. Now maybe number 2, the T sound. T, right? T doesn't pronounce like T. Okay? T doesn't pronounce like letter T. It doesn't pronounce as same as T. T somehow is different from your native language accent to British accent. So for example, we pronounce like, could you give me a T? T, right? But in British, somehow that T is pronounced like T. Your tongue will go up and down. Okay? So, for example, better, ER. Remember? Step number 1. Better, water. Harry Potter. So, there are a different, but it is so subtle, but it is important one. Like, we usually say Harry Potter, but if we just join T in it, so it will pronounce like Potter. My favorite character in it is Harry Potter. Simple. Number 3, the TH sound. Maybe you were familiar with it and maybe you are familiar with it. But I want you to know about the TH sound. So right, there are 2 ways to pronounce TH. Now let's look at number 1, unvoiced TH. Now unvoiced TH is basically when you blow air. You have to blow air out of you. Now your tongue will be like okay, your tongue will be between your teeth, Alright? And after that, you have to blow air out of you. Like, blow air as much as you can. Like, am I understandable? So, right, you have to be like, okay? So, it is unvoiced. Like, bath. Okay, now let's come to voiced th1. So now let me tell you the voiced th1. The voiced th1 is pronounced as th, like like a b. So you have to do the same thing. Like between your teeth should be your tongue, like and you have to just sound like a b, like and see the vibration. On your vocal cord there is a vibration, like and that's it. You have to sound like bees. Exactly, you have to sound like bees. So unvoiced one is and voiced one is okay. So just practice with me. So first of all, unvoiced one, your tongue between your teeth, like and you have to blow air out of you. Bath, 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 bath. The British native speaker do it a lot, but it is subtle because they practice it a lot. Like bath, bath, right? You can't see my tongue. So it is. And the voice one is like vibration one. That's all. So if you follow this 4 step, this will help you a lot to sound like British speaker. Am I right to you? So if you want to sound more British, so use this now. Now I'm gonna tell you some sentence, so you have to pronounce it. How do you pronounce it in British accent? Okay. Now it is pronounced as my favorite character is Harry Potter. My favorite character is Harry Potter. Am I right? And number second is, how do you pronounce this? I have to bath to go to the market. I have to bath to go to the market. All right, so you can sound British instantly if you pronounce these 2 sentences correctly as I'm pronouncing it. And in this video, it's all. Thank you. Like for more and subscribe for more. Bye. And I want to ask you a question. Do you have any other step which will gonna help others to speak more British accent? So let me know in the comments, because I will use that step in my next video. So thank you. Like for more. Bye.
Ascend with Angel. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.